The NCAA just proposed 3 reforms that could save American soccer or prove that it is already too late. Right now, college soccer is destroying the exact players it should be developing. America's best talent is fleeing to academies not because they don't love the game, but because college soccer is breaking down their bodies faster than it builds their careers. I lived this. 4 years of college soccer left me with injuries that I still feel today, and an education I was too exhausted to absorb. Now running a college soccer recruiting agency, I see the exact same cycles happen year on year, generation after generation. But something just changed. The NCAA dropped 3 proposals that could fundamentally transform college soccer. Not minor tweaks, structural reforms that address the exact reason elite players avoid college entirely. In this video, I'm taking you inside each proposed change, showing you exactly why the current system fails, and revealing how these reforms could create a pathway that actually works for elite prospects, current players, and everyone in between. By the end, you'll understand how to position yourself to benefit from these changes before they hit. Let me show you what college soccer actually looks like. It is Wednesday night. You're in North Carolina under the lights. Your hamstrings are tight from the match 3 days ago. Your body never recovered because the system doesn't allow recovery. Thursday morning, you're on a plane to California. You land Thursday afternoon, go through a walkthrough, and then try to sleep in an unfamiliar hotel while your body screams it's 3 hours later than the clock says. Saturday afternoon, just 48 hours after landing, you're competing again. Your opponent slept in their beds, trained in their own facilities, and their legs are fresh. Yours aren't. Tuesday evening, you're back on the East Coast for another match. This isn't exaggerating, this is the schedule. You don't train, you survive. Compete, travel, repeat. Your body breaks down because recovery isn't built into the system, it is sacrificed by it. And while your hamstrings are tight, your ankles are swollen, and your body is deteriorating right in front of your very eyes, you are actually a full-time student taking 12 to 15 credit hours. Lectures at 8 a.m. after landing at 2 a.m. Papers due while you're on a plane to the game. Exams while your brain is foggy from jet lag. Doing both well isn't hard, it is literally impossible. So players turn to taking Mickey Mouse classes. Courses designed to keep you eligible, not educate you. Classes where attendance equals passing because your body is too broken to actually learn. I vividly remember sitting in a history of art class, history of art, at 10 a.m. after getting home from an away game at 2 a.m. in the morning. I wasn't learning, I was there. It was kind of one of them situations where lights are on, nobody's home. I remember being in the back of the class just trying to keep my eyes open. And this is why America's elite talent won't touch college soccer. They go straight to MLS academies or European clubs where development is actually prioritized, where training and competition exist in a balance, not chaos. So who fills the void when elite American players leave? The answer is international players. Players who weren't good enough to make it in their own countries, they come to America and play college soccer. I say that because I was one of them. I made an entire video about this. It is titled, How International Players Have Taken Over College Soccer. If you are interested in this topic remotely, I highly suggest you check out that video. The link to that video will be in the top link in the description. American talent isn't disappearing. It is fleeing a system that destroys their career instead of building it up. Elite players who need legitimate development lose. Student athletes who wanted both competitive soccer and an elite education lose. So really, everybody loses. The problem isn't just the brutal schedule, it is the philosophy driving everything. Professional soccer worldwide operates on one principle: 1 or 2 matches per week with dedicated training sessions between. This rhythm allows skill development, tactical work, and physical recovery. It is how the best players in the world develop. It's actually how development happens. College soccer does the exact opposite. The system prioritizes competition volume over everything: player development, academics, athlete health. It is a relentless cycle of traveling, competing, and surviving, with little to no time for growth. During my junior year, which is my 3rd year in college, my strength and conditioning coach pulled me aside after a game. My hamstrings had been tight for weeks. I'd mentioned it multiple times, but there was never a time to properly address it. Just ice, stretch it, get back on the field. He advised me that I rest it, take a week off. And I literally laughed at him, not because it was funny, but because taking a week off meant missing 2 games. We literally had a match on Wednesday, then Saturday, then the following week was Tuesday, and then Friday. There was no week off. There was no time to heal whatsoever. And 2 weeks later, that tight hamstring turned into a grade 2 strain where I was out for the rest of the season. And the constant cross-country traveling compounds everything. Players lose training time, recovery time, and any chance at meaningful academics. This creates a system where college soccer becomes an endpoint, not a pathway. Players aren't developing, they're just hoping to survive until graduation, hoping their body doesn't break down and they can get to the finish line. But this might actually change. The NCAA has proposed 3 major reforms that could fundamentally change college soccer as we know it in the next 1 to 2 years. Let me break down each one and show you exactly why it matters. Reform number 1, the academy return rule. This is a game changer. Currently, if you sign with an academy or a professional contract, you instantly lose eligibility to play college soccer. Your college pathway is dead forever. This forces players to make an impossible choice. Do they go the professional route and risk everything? Or do they go the college soccer route where you can get a degree as a fallback and still take soccer as far as you can? The proposed reform will change this completely. Players who leave college for professional academies can now return and keep their eligibility intact. This removes that all or nothing gamble that prevents elite talent from pursuing professional opportunities. You could try an academy, and if it doesn't work out, return to college soccer. Think about what this enables. Players could spend a year in an MLS academy, and if they don't break into the first team, return to college soccer without losing a single year of eligibility. This creates a safety net that doesn't currently exist. It transforms their decision from a permanent choice into a strategic career move. Reform number 2, regional conferences. This reform would restructure competition and conferences as we know it, dramatically decreasing cross-country travel, which is what I spoke about earlier on. East Coast teams would only compete against other East Coast teams. West Coast teams would stay on the West Coast. The majority of long-distance flights and multi-time zone travel would be eliminated. First, it solves jet lag and recovery issues that I spoke about earlier on. Players would sleep in their own beds, train at their own facilities, and their body would more likely be ready for the games they play. Second, it reduces travel costs for the athletic programs themselves. Those savings could be redirected into coaches, facilities, or player development resources. Third, it creates stronger regional rivalries, which makes college soccer more attractive to watch and follow. This isn't just about convenience. It is about creating conditions where development can actually happen instead of being sacrificed. Reform number 3, a completely new schedule. I recently interviewed college coaches and asked them what is one change they would make to the NCAA or college soccer as they know it if they were in charge. And they all said the same thing.
At the end of the day, these guys need to play games, and they need to be playing games year-round.
I'd love more games, honestly, and
stretched out like that. You do so much prep, and the fun part of the season is the 3 or 4 months you get to play, and that's what you do all the preparation for.
Love for it to be year-round. You know, it'll be easier for us, easier for the players, but you have to think about a lot of the things that we do in the off-season. It does help having it in terms of a just one semester season.
Currently, the schedule is a match every 3 days for 3 months. The proposed schedule would allow adequate recovery time between games, stretch out the season, more gaps between each games. This means less injuries, more players available for the coach to pick from, and ultimately a higher level of competition. This also allows student athletes to hit 2 birds with 1 stone. They can be elite in academics and elite on the field as well. It makes balancing the life of a student athlete that much easier. But understanding these 3 reforms on paper doesn't allow you to take advantage of these proposed changes when they hit. So let me break this down based on where you're at right now. If you're currently in high school, you are in the best possible position. You could be amongst the first generation to experience the new college soccer, the way it should have always been, with proper training, proper recovery times, and an even better college experience. But you need to be strategic about your recruiting timeline. Don't rush into commitments with programs that aren't preparing for these changes. So for the coaches you're talking to, ask them this question: how is your program preparing for the proposed NCAA reforms? Their answer will reveal everything you need to know. Programs thinking long-term will have specific plans. Programs just surviving the current system will provide you vague responses or won't have any idea what you're talking about. If you are currently in college, these reforms could extend your college career if your body was already breaking down. A reformed schedule with proper recovery times could be the difference between you medically retiring or having a successful college career. The academy rule matters for you too, because if you've been considering a professional opportunity, it is now a win-win. You can go take that risk and come straight back to college soccer if it doesn't work out. If you're considering skipping college entirely, these reforms might change your calculation, because college soccer is now becoming a legitimate pathway to the pros. The level of college soccer is going to be at an all-time high. The question isn't whether these changes will happen, because momentum is already there. The question is whether you'll position yourself to benefit from them. Players who understand these reforms and position themselves strategically will have a humongous advantage from previous generations like mine. They will actually develop instead of just survive. They'll graduate with real degrees instead of just eligibility degrees. And they'll finish college with their body intact. Earlier, I mentioned a video called How Internationals Have Taken Over College Soccer. That video explains the current landscape you're attempting to navigate. Link is in the description. I'll see you there.